Hi, this is John Adamson, the Rehab Documentation Guru, and today we're going to look at a sample of documentation to determine whether or not it is skill. One of the things I'd note is that sometimes therapists include things in their notes that may actually diminish what they're trying to impart as skill. And the therapist that documented this clearly was trying to demonstrate a level of skill in their intervention that would not make it safe or effective for a non-therapist to do this. And so what we're going to do is first we're going to review what a skilled statement should have in it. Then we're going to apply that to the statement covering 97112 neuromuscular re-ed, and we're going to see, does this really fit the criteria of skill? So the first thing we want to do when we document our skilled intervention is include the CPT code itself. For those of you that are in home health, you might want to just consider utilizing the name of the intervention, in this case, neuromuscular reeducation. The next thing we want to include is an action word, and the action word should describe what you as the therapist did. The next thing that we want to do is target the action, and the target usually, I should say, always should include the definition of the CPT code itself, and it might include things like anatomical structures. What are we targeting on the patient? Next thing we want to include are special techniques. What is it that's unique to what we do that demonstrates skilled knowledge? And the last two things for skill is patient response and evolution over time, which really may be mostly indicative in other portions of our documentation and also obviously from note to note. So let's look at this statement and let's see if it fits the criteria. 97112. Okay, so we've got the CPT code right there. We already know this is going to be neuromuscular re-ed. That's good. And then it starts off with therapist facilitated. So we have that action word. That's wonderful. So we know that the therapist is the one doing the work. The patient's obviously doing something, but the therapist is doing something. And we're billing for the things we do. Okay, therapist facilitated standing at rolling walker with balance challenges. And balance, so that word's important because it is an element of the definition of 97112 neuromuscular reeducation. So when we talk about target, we have to be able to target one of the things or one of the criteria of the CPT code to justify its billing. And neuromuscular re-ed covers 5 things: balance, coordination, proprioception, kinesthesia, and posture. So we've got a target mention. That's good. And then we go on to special techniques. With feet staggered, not staggered. Okay. Having one foot on foam pad when staggered, focusing on increasing lower extremity stability to improve maintaining balance. There it's said again. And correcting posture. Oh, so there's another element of the definition of neuromuscular re-ed. While reaching and stepping outside base of support when having to step up onto and hold balance on unsteady surfaces. So looking at this, I would definitely say we've got some special techniques going on. And it's pretty clear the therapist is thinking about what does this patient need to do. The wording's a little bit awkward at times, but the therapist is clearly trying to do something that's related to improving balance. And they focus on, this is how what I'm doing in the clinic is going to relate to everyday life, meaning walking or holding balance on unsteady surfaces, like basically anything outside that's not on pavement. So this is not a bad statement. Now the question then becomes, is on an ongoing basis, is this something that a non-skilled person could not do? And I would argue that probably with a few trainings, based on what's written here, a non-skilled person could start doing this very thing and achieve the same outcome that the therapist is trying to achieve with this patient. So we want to make sure, again, from note to note, we demonstrate evolution over time. It should be clear from a review standpoint that this is not a repetitive program, because as written, and if it's looked at by a set of eyes that have some knowledge in therapy intervention, it appears that this could be trained to a non-skilled person to then take it over, and then you would not have an ongoing billable code. So, but otherwise on this one note, this looks pretty good. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful, this review of Is This Skill? Just a reminder, please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this review. And I appreciate any input about suggestions you might have or comments for future videos. Also, please remember, if you find value from these videos and you're gaining knowledge, my time and effort goes into these videos, including snippets, finding snippets of documentation, reviewing it with you, posting it on YouTube, and a donation to my GoFundMe is greatly appreciated. It allows me to consider in the future how much effort I'm going to be putting into these videos to help you grow in your documentation. Anyway, again, this is John Adamson, the Rehab Documentation Guru. Until next time, take care.